Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Good, man.
So today we are talking about the Cubariqueño Protocol Themis Toro. Cigar is 6-inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the La Zona factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Connecticut, and the binder and filler are both from Nicaragua. Blended by Hector Alfonso. Price point is $9.89, and the cigar was released in May of 2017. So, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
Um, it was a good pre-light experience. In terms of the look of the cigar, I thought the wrapper had a claro shade to it. Good amount of oil content on the wrapper. Gave it like a semi-slick feel to on my fingertips. Things well pressed, seems tight. Bunch of roll felt really well done. No soft spots. Uniform give throughout. Head finish off with a well applied triple cap. When I smell the wrapper, I got a mixture of cedar, hay, and barnyard. Smelling that foot, black pepper, aged cedar, and roasted mixed nuts. A cold draw, really good cold draw actually. Hay, white pepper, dried nuts, and got this really nice black tea coming through as well.
Yeah, wrapper was a very light golden brown. A few raised veins that were present. All the seams are slightly visible, but they're smooth. Head finished off with a very well applied triple cap. Three bands. Primary band's a standard protocol band, but in a golden black color scheme. Secondary band just below the primary carries that same color combination, denotes the line name. Foot band is a ribbon that's gold with a slight tinge of copper to it. Aroma from the wrapper was a very sweet dry hay. Foot gave that same hay note, but the addition of some leather to it. Prelate draw mixes that sweet dry hay and leather, and a slight increase of the leather that I was getting from the foot aroma. So getting into the flavor, what was your experience like?
Starting from the first third, I thought the first third just kind of right out of the bat started off with quite a bit of flavors. I got dry wood, baking spices, bread, like a dry barnyard, slightly sweet cream, and I got the sense of this like meatiness, gaminess to it. Um, Retrohale gave deeper notes of that same dry wood, black pepper, in addition of this rich nuttiness. Finish lengthy with dry wood, black pepper, and earthy minerality. Strength and body, for the most part, medium. Moving on to the second third, I felt like this is kind of where the cigar started to hit a stride in terms of both fullness and flavors and increase in strength. Specifically, still getting that black pepper, baking spices, dry wood, all of those flavors started kind of spiking. Strength now more towards medium full, which is a bit of an unexpected surprise. Retro still gave me that fullness in dry wood, black pepper, roasted nuts. Finish still lingering quite long with the same dry wood, black pepper, and that earthy minerality. Body still medium. Now moving on to the last third, one of the main noticeable differences is strength. I thought the strength was like a very consistent medium full at this point. Profile still relatively, coming in with dry wood, black pepper dominant, with the dry roast and nuttiness in that background. Retro Hill is really, where the cigar is at this point. Still richness in dry wood, black pepper, and roasted nuts. Finished primarily lingering dry earthy minerality, dry wood, and black pepper. Body still, finishing off at the medium side.
Yeah, so the cigar began with some light aged cedar and cinnamon, and then after a few draws, that cedar lost that aged note, and the cinnamon really intensified and lingered on the roof of my mouth after each draw. Half-inch in, profile settled in as the cinnamon kind of calmed down a little bit and began to mix in well with the cedar. 3/4 of an inch in, cinnamon transitioned to a black pepper, which is also pretty heavy in the mix with the cedar. Retrohale is a slightly charred and creamy wood. And then at 1.25 inches, that pepper really dropped back quite a bit, and the cedar transitioned to an aged oak note, which was very smooth. Retrohale also carried that smooth aged oak, and the strength on the third began medium full, but by the end it was just slightly above medium. And then getting into the second third, aged oak note continues along with some faint black pepper and some slightly creamy coffee joined in. 1/4 inch in. Pepper's gone and the creamy coffee moves to the front while the oak note is in the background. 3/4 of an inch in, a slight wood bitterness joined the oak in the background, and the creamy coffee was still up front in a nice and smooth profile. As the third came to a close, that slight bitter oak moved to the front, while the creamy coffee moved to the background. And the strength in this third was slightly above medium as well. Getting into the final third, slightly bitter oak is slightly in front of the creamy coffee. That retro oak kind of carries a creamy oak note. 3/4 of an inch in, profile's maintaining itself, no changes. At 1.25 inches, the bitterness increased slightly with the oak, and the coffee note kind of disappeared, but that creaminess was still in the background. 1.5 inches in, bitterness drops back some with the oak, being the main flavor. A little bit of coffee was coming back to the cream, and strength stayed at the slightly above medium mark. So getting into performance for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
It was really good. In terms of the burn, I rated a 1 notch down perfection, which is what we call a very good. So only minor complaint that I have within the burn is the wavy burn line. Aside from that, everything was really good. Solid ash marks, 1.5 inch increments, cool burn. Never had to use my lighter after the initial light. I thought the draw, on the other hand, was perfect. So just the right amount of that resistance coming through and airflow, and it made it just absolutely seamless.
Yeah, the burn was perfect for me. Very straight. Ashes held on in slightly more than an inch increment, so it was really good. In regards to the draw, it started off fairly loose, but by the halfway point, it had tightened up to right where I prefer it. So it kind of finished strong in regards to that. So I gave it a very good because it was I'd say good at the beginning, but it was perfect in the second half. So I kind of just split the difference on that. So overall, what were your thoughts?
I see all these Facebook posts of especially Juan, maybe not so much Bill, but saying they're not fans of traditional type of Connecticut shade cigars. So I wonder what that really meant. So after smoking through a couple of these guys, one of them which was on a fucking hot ass day, by the way, which kind of not as enjoyable, but whatever. Maybe it's pre-gaming for Vegas. So I thought that I kind of know what they were going for. I felt like they were kind of going for a cigar that exemplify greater depth and especially spice, some strength, as well as to a certain extent a body, especially with that taste of that meatiness and gaminess in the first third. It really complemented the cigar in the sense of giving this increase in body effect. It's not full tilt strength like that JSK Connecticut shade that we've had. I feel like it's not quite that, and it is definitely not a traditional Your Father's Connecticut shade. And I think it kind of strikes somewhere in the middle in terms of the strength category. I really liked it. I mean, this is definitely not your stereotypical Connecticut shade out there. So if you want to try something that's not Your Father's shade, I picked this up.
Yeah, the first third was pretty busy and in your face, but kind of settled down as the third came to a close. Second third was where the cigar shined for me, and the final third dropped down a little bit. This is another one of those amped up Connecticut's that people are talking about, but I think it's done well. Kind of similar to what you're talking about. It's not at the JSK level in regards to strength, but it's definitely fuller strength, but delivers in the flavor category. So I think it's another great offering from Cubariqueño. They're trying to position this cigar as the milder offering into their portfolio, but I think this is stronger than the original protocol is. To me, I don't see it. I say standard protocol, then you can get into the Themis, and then you can jump up to the probable cause, and if you want to go to the strength level. I enjoy the stronger Connecticut offerings, and I'd rank this as one of the better ones that's out there. So for people that aren't a fan of traditional Connecticut's, this is something to try. But those that like medium plus levels in strength, this is definitely a cigar to try as well. I'll definitely be smoking more of these, and I'm looking forward to doing the review on the Robusto later on down the road. In regards to scores, you gave it I gave it a 7.37. You gave it a 7.42. We scored it identical except for in the construction. We just flip-flopped. I had a better burn. you had a better draw just by one category on each, and it just the way we do the weighting is how you had a slightly larger score. So how do you think that matched up with your experience?
Really well. I mean, it's actually been quite some time since I gave it a flavor profile, a very good score. Within, so within this one specifically, I gave the second third. You and I gave the second third a very good score.
Right.
So it's been, I mean, this year so far has been pretty rough in terms of like really standout flavor offerings.
Yeah.
And the second third of this cigar, I feel like hit that. So.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's the same thing. This was a breath of fresh air for 2017 releases. Like, and I haven't looked up all the numbers, but I'm pretty confident that this is the highest score that you and I have given to a cigar released in 2017. So, that's just so far. I mean, we're just getting ready to go to the trade show, and there's going to be a flood of other cigars that we're going to be, smoking out through the rest of the year. So, not saying that this is the #1 cigar of the year, but so far it's the best, highest one that we've rated, I think. So, but it deserves all of that, and it's not just because of buzz and stuff like that. Like, this cigar does produce on the flavor side, and that's kind of what we're all about here. So, any other final thoughts from you?
No, go drink some Zacapa XO and smoke this.
That's right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. You can also catch all our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.